Everybody get up.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the Body Mechanic NYC.
How are you, Body Mechanic? You look so stiff.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm not stiff.
You're not stiff? Let me see you move.
I feel poised.
Let me see you move to the left. Move to the right. All right. So the purpose of Body Shop TV is to share with you information about wellness and relationships to aid in the longevity of both. We try really hard to do that, don't we, Body Mechanic?
We sure do, Chella. Try to do as much as we can for people who are ready to receive.
That are open.
Yes, because if you're not open, whatever you make up in your mind, that's exactly what you get.
You know,
When
Body
you're
Mechanic, this week I was interviewed by a newspaper, and they were asking me a lot of questions about what we do with Body Shop Enterprises.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized after, speaking to this person how much we do. I didn't realize it. We have the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Touch Sensorium. We have the Body Shop Honors.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Scholarship Luncheon. And now we're breaking out with a new product called Heavenly Bodies. That's a lot.
Hold on. I'm lost for words. I think I need some wings.
I'm looking forward to doing that. That's going to be so exciting.
Yep, it's kind of like it's time to get into the Lord's house.
Yep, no doubt.
Yep.
Well.
The days of fried chicken and macaroni and cheese are soon to be curtailed.
All over.
That's right. Instead of us worrying about, this disease and that disease, we're going to bring foolproof method of how to rebalance those bodies.
I went to the doctor this week for my annual physical,
Yeah.
and he was like so impressed with my progress.
Yeah.
And I was telling him about what we do and talking to him about Heavenly Bodies. He goes, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, it's a program that Body Mechanic and I are going to bring to the churches. It's going to be 8 sessions, an hour once a week, and it's going to be 30 minutes of stretching and no sweat workout, and 30 minutes of
What's wrong? Church folk don't like to sweat.
No, they don't like to sweat. They got to be cool.
Well.
Well. And 30 minutes of massage. And every other week will be a 15-minute mini workshop on different issues like sugar, diabetes, and so on. So he was like, wow. He's like, how can I get involved? So that was another conversation.
Yeah?
So just know that we have a fan in the club.
Cool.
But we were talking about how the churches that you and I are affiliated with or that we are familiar with, the members, a lot of them eat a lot of unhealthy food like fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, cornbread, all things that are good. They're good, but not good for you. And so we're just trying to change that mindset, just, trying to curve the interest a little bit to the wellness side.
Right, because interest is, people just assume that, things have not changed. From a long time ago, people ate fried food, but the stuff wasn't cooked in plant-based oils.
Yeah.
It was cooked in lard and cooked in saturated fats from animal products, and it was fine. There was no record of heart disease until we started using plant-based oils. People are like, we're just frying, so might as well use the cheapest stuff that we can find.
Was Crisco like the first?
No, but
on the market?
Lard and stuff was based on animal fat. I mean, like my grandfather used to take the drippings from the pork and cook eggs in it. There's nothing wrong with that. Only thing is now that, cows are different, pigs are different because of corporation, and everything is about profit. So now, at the expense of using cheaper goods, we are being the guinea pigs and consuming these things on a regular basis. And we're trying to figure out what's going on when we're eating the same way we did 100 years ago, but there are things that we are not informed about. So, and there's a lot of information that's been put out into the general population that is completely false. Like, I'll give you just a mere example. The U.S. food pyramid was recanted like 2 years ago by Columbia University. They're changing it because now diabetes and hypertension are breaking our medical system. And it's all based on the fact that corporations wanted to have profits and eliminate the competition, start promoting their plant-based oils, and heart disease went rampant. People are literally dying from basically what they're eating.
Wow.
So this opportunity for churches to participate in heavenly bodies will be a win-win situation for all.
But I'm just so excited. And once we start the program in one church, it's gonna just take off. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well.
get a.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to think if I'm doing massage, should I wear like a priest collar?
Stop it. Stop.
Well, what?
Stop.
I'm serious. I mean,
I'm gonna tell.
I've been
Lydia.
sleeping different since I thought about heavenly bodies.
How do you sleep now?
I
On your
sleep
back?
like an angel. Like I pretend I have wings and I can't crush them when I lie on the bed.
So how was your week?
Well, my week was fine until my neck started hurting
Down to
me.
your neck.
Well, I think it's from rapid weight loss. No, it's just sleeping incorrectly, and I felt it, and that's why it's so important. I mean, all the stuff that I do, that I talk about, I usually do it, but you slip up a few times, and all you have to do is have one bad night of sleep or sleep incorrectly, and that can affect you. So, I had a shift in my spinal cord, and I can actually feel where it's out. A lot of times when people experience pain, like they experience pain in parts of their bodies, but what they fail to realize is that something that's central to all of those things is the spinal cord. And when you sit a lot, when you have stress all the time, it affects your vertebral column, your cervical spine, your thoracic spine, your lumbar. And when those things tighten up, they create problems. And it's not where you feel the pain where the problem is coming from. It's actually usually central to the body.
Well, I have a surprise for you, body mechanic.
Yeah, really?
Yes. I'm gonna be bringing in.
You say you have a surprise. I get nervous.
Yeah, you should get nervous.
Ow!
I'm gonna be bringing in a chiropractor to look at your
Oh, really?
spinal cord. Yes.
Yeah.
So, body mechanic, are you looking at me? I mean, I am your.
No, I just saw this fabulous shirt.
Listen, I want your
I'm sorry.
undivided attention.
I just
Okay?
want what?
I want
I'm a
your
little jealous. Every time I come in, I want to grab that shirt. Yes, a chiropractor would be spectacular. You know what's so funny about
What?
chiropractors? Is that people think they're like witch doctors.
I know, it's unfortunate.
Do 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 do.
It's because when you don't know, you have to give it another name.
You have to make up things.
Right.
Is that the way it works? Is that like just believe?
Welcome-
Don't question?
Welcome to America.
Welcome to America. Don't just follow protocol and just do what you got to do. I tell you, just believe faith. You don't have enough faith to just, it'll be okay.
Stop it.
That's
You are
someone's
so
interpretation of life, and people live that forever. It's
That's
just
it.
like that food pyramid. Oh, I know one of the things I want to talk about real
What?
fast. So
And I want to talk about the sun.
you know that there's lots of trains of thoughts about why people lose weight, why people gain weight, why people are healthy, why people are unhealthy.
Right.
Well, I have done a little experiment. I've done this before and had great success. I did it when I was 292 pounds. I did it when I was 228 pounds. And I'm doing it again, and this will be the last time because this is my complete dietary makeover.
Okay.
So, when I was in college and I was wrestling, I was at 196 pounds. And it's funny because being a chubby child growing up, you never really, the image that you have of yourself when you're young actually stays imprinted in your brain. And even though you look at yourself in the mirror every day and you're fit, that's not what you see. That's because we always live in the past.
Then it affects your self-esteem.
Right. It does. It affects everything. It affects your livelihood. It affects the jobs. It affects your performance, the relationships. It affects everything. So I remember looking back at pictures of myself, and I was like, man, I was actually really, really fit. I'd never, ever thought I was fit. I was cycling 5 miles. I was running 5 miles a day. I was doing all this. I used to run a sub 6-minute mile at 200 pounds.
But if you weren't chubby, why did you think you were?
Because I was chubby growing up.
But that was in the past.
I know, but what I'm talking about is the mindset. So,
Not good.
fast track forward. I'm 220. My average weight now is like 220. And I work out, not too much, but enough to keep my body active. And, my vitals are excellent. So when I first lost weight, when I went from 292 pounds down to 204 pounds, I did the Atkins diet, which is no carbs. Initially, no carbs. The reset period is no carbs and fat and protein. right? And I lost 19 pounds in 9 days.
What? 9 days?
9 days.
That's crazy.
9 days. Because that's how toxic, I need to look around with my sore neck. That's how toxic sugar is. And it doesn't make a difference what kind of sugar you consume. Don't be fooled.
Yeah.
If you don't burn it, your body's storing it. Because once it tops it off in your liver and your body, it has to store it somewhere. And then there are different kinds of man-made synthetic sweeteners which wreak even more havoc on your body.
I gotta tell you, me cutting down on a lot of sugar, I feel so different. It was like clogging my brain, man.
I talk about it all the time. It does. You tell people about Alzheimer's and different mental disorders, sugar is definitely one of the underlying culprits.
And I find myself remembering a whole lot more now than I had in the last 10, 12 years.
It affects your ability to recall. Like in your brain, the hypothalamus is not the hypothalamus, I mean your hippocampus is your memory center. And that's exactly what sugar affects. Not only that, when you consume sugar on a regular basis, your body will take the easiest path to convert to glucose. And sugar is that because the refined sugar has no fiber. So it spikes your insulin. And insulin actually is one of the biggest health problems, and no one talks about insulin. Insulin is a hormone. It's a fat-storing hormone. When your blood glucose goes above a certain level, the pancreas releases insulin, and insulin allows the cells to actually take in glucose. Once the cells are turned off, when they're finished doing their thing, now the body has to take, if that elevated blood glucose is still high, now it has to store it in the liver as glycogen and then store it in your fat tissue. There are some sugars that when you ingest it, it actually goes whoop, direct right to your fat cells. And they're toxic. Toxic to your brain, toxic to your eyes. That's why diabetics lose vision, neuropathy, I can't feel my toes, amputations.
The healing is a slower process.
I don't understand. Everyone knows that diabetics lose their sight, have amputations, but they still eat the sugar. What's up with that?
It's a disease, body mechanic. It's called addiction.
Hold on a second.
It's an addiction.
I didn't mean to point at you like that. It's not a disease.
When you're addicted, it's a disease.
That's an allopathic term. It is food abuse.
It's also an addiction.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but look at the child that can't wait to get candy or was rewarded with candy or lollipops, sugar. It's an addiction from early on.
You know what, Chella? This is the only analogy I could think of. Think of a big hole in the ground, right? People are walking up to it. They're eating sugar. They don't see, and they fall in the hole, and you look in the bottom, and they're dead, right? And it's like you walking up to the edge looking, okay, and you get in the line and walk, and you'd fall right in the hole and die too. That's the equivalent of me knowing that people who consume sugar in high amounts lose their vision and have amputations. What does it take for people to get it?
It's a good question.
You know what I mean?
It's a good question.
I mean, when you go into restaurants, you're bombarded with sugar. It makes them more money. They do not care about you. If you don't sleep at the right times, you're up late, your body's like, where's this sugar? Because it's easy to convert for a fuel source. So just to segue, this is only going to take me a few minutes to develop this.
Minutes?
What I did was 2 weeks ago, I was 224, 225. And I completely eliminated sugar from my diet and started eating 80% of my calories are from fat. Now, there's a lot of people who will stand in front of me who've had all kinds of educations, and they'll tell me, well,
anything in excess is not good for you.
But this is what I do know. When I listened about my ancestry, most Africans ate bushmeat, they ate fat, they drank milk, they drank blood, and they had straight teeth. They had no acne. They didn't have heart disease. They didn't have any of that stuff. Now I come to America where we're experts, and now we eat grains, And now we're dying. So something is wrong. And I know this. And I'm not knocking anybody's program. I know how my body works. But a lot of bodies work very similar. Our bodies are designed to protect themselves by any means necessary. So just not to lose train of thought. So here I am. I'm going in. I'm at 80% fat. I start consuming at least 6 eggs a day. And I posted on Facebook. Do you see that what I posted on Facebook? I had 6 eggs, and I cooked them a very specific way, because when you overcook things, because remember, we did not have heat. We were not like frying things, the caveman wasn't like frying his meat. He was eating it raw. Exactly. There's no other mammal on the planet that cooks their food but us. We're the only ones that eat food that's been in the oven over 200 degrees, and we're wondering why we don't live long. Interesting. So check this out. 6 eggs, avocado, half a stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of MCT, which is coconut oil, which is a medium chain triglyceride. 50% of it is long chain, 50% is medium chain. That actually gives you an energy source. In fact, it's more efficient than eating sugar, because the liver converts it to ketones, and it's a better fuel source for your brain. And it doesn't have the effects of refined sugar, which basically dissolve your body. So my weight now, 2 weeks later, I went from 225, 226. I just broke the scale this morning at 213. Let me tell you something about consuming fat. When you don't take in enough fat, your body thinks that it's starving. And the first thing that happens, it throws a cascade of all of your hormones off. If you're watching this show, I'm telling you right now, if you don't believe me, you contact your primary care physician, you have them check your hormones, and I guarantee you that most of your hormones are off.
And feel free to call us here at the studio.
Absolutely.
631-669.
Feel free to challenge us, because the deal is, I'm up to the task. Because I'll squat you, I'll run you, I'll do it all. It doesn't make a difference.
All right.
And I'm an old man.
Very good.
Well, not old, but.
Very good.
Yes, so.
So now that we're out of time,
What happened?
because you ran your mouth about your diet and your eggs and your butter. And
It wasn't
coconut.
about my diet. It's about sharing information, because most people are misinformed.
Yes, of course.
All right.
Like always.
Sorry.
So when we come back, I have a surprise for you.
Yes.
We'll fix your neck, fix your
I
back.
hope fix something, because my body can't feel a little broken. I need to rub some butter on my neck.
Maybe. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have 2 practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, DMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with your one and only Madhouse TV.
You are the man.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. For professional motorcycle transport and towing.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the very shy body mechanic
Ay,
NYC.
Dios mío. Here we go again with your
Today is the day.
Of what?
We got special folks on here today. I'm
We
excited.
do. I want to welcome William and Xiomara. Welcome to Body Shop TV.
Thank you.
Did I say your
thank
name
you.
right? Yes. Xiomara. That's pretty. So
It
we
sounds
met
like
this
a song.
we met this beautiful couple at Namaste America a couple
Well,
of
I
weeks
saw
ago.
them because you're too busy with your face and the goat.
Yes, I love their goat.
I know you. The goat shake
The
when
goat.
you walk on the block.
I was there last night. I think I ate 2 full trays, just me. The goat was just awesome. That's all I had was goat. Goat, goat, goat.
Can we
It's
have
a
them
mocha.
deliver? Because I like goat too.
Do they what?
Do they deliver?
No, they don't. They don't.
Well, you know what's funny? They were already experts at that place before we got there.
Yes, yes.
I don't know about experts. We drove by and kind of.
That was your first time there?
Yeah, it was first
Oh,
time.
first
Oh, that's right. He did say it was his first time.
Oh, okay. Cool beans.
And here's another first
Yes.
on the show.
Body Shop TV.
Thank you.
So you are a bona fide chiropractor.
I am a licensed, insured, and board certified. All the.
What inspired
No.
you to get into that field?
I actually, as a teenager, had neck problems because I was big into tennis and soccer and things, and I kind of injured myself. And my dad was a general contractor, and somebody he knew was a massage therapist, kind of entering into school, and started working on me, and a lot of my problems started going away, not just my neck pain and shoulder stuff. So I was also into martial arts a little bit, and it's kind of a nice fit. And that was a really long story, condensed down to a few seconds.
So you have a private practice?
Yes, I
And
do.
where's your practice located?
I am in Jamaica on Hillside Avenue, and we're also in Queens Village on Hillside Avenue.
Very good. Very good. You have a lot of clients?
One office is kind of our laid-back, more complete paperwork, do billing stuff, which is the Queens Village office. But the Jamaica office is pretty busy. I mean, we see anywhere from 40 to 60 patients a day there.
Wow.
We're open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday in that location, and Tuesdays, Thursdays in the Queens Village location.
You have other associate chiropractors working with you?
Nope. I break my neck all the time. I get things done. So.
That sounds good to me.
Do you get massaged?
I do. We
You do?
have acupuncture there. We have a medical doctor. We have physical
PT.
therapist. And yeah, I take advantage of all of them
Okay, good.
as
Good,
often
good,
as
good.
I can, which is not often enough, but as
I
often
hear
as
you.
I can.
It's like me. I don't get massages either. And I do massages myself.
God, this is amazing.
I'm just
Kinda rub against the
deprived.
wall.
I just feel like I get kicked.
And can you believe the body mechanic does massages and I don't get massages? Isn't that something? That's the only time we see each other.
But you know what's funny?
What's funny, body mechanic?
Wow, that's like a double punch.
No, I'm ready to
Usually
laugh.
it's block and punch,
No,
but you throw your punches like that.
I'm ready to laugh.
I think I need
What's funny?
adjustment.
Okay, what?
No, you throw them like this. You know what's funny? When people do body work as a business,
I'm listening.
it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It really is, and you know that. You know that because when we have our touch sensoriums while you're hobnobbing and having beautiful desserts,
Because
the body
I-
mechanic is breaking a sweat.
Because I'm the hostess with the mostest.
All right.
Somebody's
Yeah,
gotta
but
do
your
it.
hands are wonderful gloves also,
Yes, this
just
is
like
true.
mine. You have
This-
magical hands. Positively free checking.
So, how do you market yourself?
The office? We actually, the physical therapist was there long before me, probably 4 or 5 years or more before me. I used to work with the chiropractor that was there with the physical therapist, and they knew me from that. And that doctor retired, and they asked me to come in with them. The physical location has been a doctor's office for more than 30 years, so we really don't do marketing.
You don't have to.
Don't really have to. Patients, it's in a building, in an apartment building, and a lot of the patients that are active are people that live in the
Resident.
building.
Okay.
There's a lot of drive-by traffic, and because of it being there for 30 years, people just kind of gravitate back to it. So if we actually did marketing, we'd have to have another location because it's
Right.
60 a day in a very small location like that is it's kind of maxed out, especially toward the end of the day when everyone gets off from work. It's very, very busy, and at times people are standing, waiting for us to be able to take care of them.
You know, those 30 years speak volumes because the body mechanic guy recently saw a video clip from Denzel Washington, and he spoke about focus and consistency. And those 30 years are definitely consistent, and that brings a lot of respect and constant clients.
Yeah, they do repeatedly come back. I mean, they bring their families. You know, if one patient gets to us and they like us, then they tend to bring other people with them. So we do work hard. You know, we spend as much time as we can, given the kind of day that they come in. I mean, mornings sometimes are busy too, but the mornings tend to be less hectic, and we can spend more time. You know, we can how's the family, how's the dog, how's the cat. You know.
It's not like a farm.
Right.
You got 8 minutes
No,
to get fresh
not
water
really.
out there.
In the afternoons, it tends to be that way because I mean, as we are in New York, and New Yorkers tend to be round the clock, but more so 9 to 5, like most other places. And by 4:30, it gets busy. So, it's more like how you doing? What's going on? This, and they get around there. If you have any questions, call me. All the patients have our cell phone numbers. They do
Wow.
call us. And sometimes they get, long personal conversations if the time allows. And sometimes if they get a 1, 2, 3, I'll have to call you back as soon as I can. But, Tuesdays, Thursdays, they have more access to us. It's not as busy. That office sees roughly 20 patients. Like I said, it's more for paperwork. And if the paperwork is not too crazy, then we can hang on the phone and answer questions or physically see them. And we do treat in the office as well. And the hours tend to be much later than what we say.
Well, that's good.
No,
You're
it is.
accommodating.
We really try. We really try. We're open a lot. And usually 6 days a year is the number of days that we're closed.
Wow.
So it's not a lot of closure.
Pain doesn't have holidays.
It doesn't have holidays.
Have
know?
I was going to ask you a question. Have you two ever seen our show before?
No.
Yes, I have.
When
I
did-
have.
For how long? More than an hour?
No, not more than an hour.
So,
No, more than
so
an
body mechanic, why don't we do our body shop assessment on them before we proceed? What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah? So
I wasn't prepared for class. I'm sorry.
Well, you got to bring it because you're in the shop right now. So, body mechanic, why don't you start?
I'm really
With
excited that he's on
Siomata.
the show with
Yeah,
us.
me too.
Because this gives credence, and we're going to go into it in a sec, but I want to, a lot of people have a really bad misconception about chiropractors.
DOs.
And that is spread by the allopathic realm. But the deal is when people have serious chronic pain, an adjustment could render that gone in seconds. And I experienced it myself, so I'll talk about that after we do the assessment.
You'll be living
so
proof.
just kudos to you, man. I remember I had atrophy on one leg, and he was testing, and he did a adjustment on my back, and all of a sudden my leg was like working. So, pills don't work that way.
That's true.
Do you need other things plus the adjustment? Of course. And you work with a group of people who are
Yeah, we have a
practitioners.
group of people.
Yeah, because once you realign the vertebral column, those muscles need to learn how to move because they've been challenged by the impingement. I'm assuming. I mean, no, you can say it better than me because
No, I think you got it.
yeah, it's really
You got it.
like I have pain in my arm right now. Now, to the average person who doesn't understand the body, they would think that, well, my shoulder is hurting. But I know that it's coming from my spine. I can touch my spine. I feel the hot spot. That's the corresponding nerve to the arm. But you'll have this transient pain. Same thing I had when I had back pain, when I had a bulge. I had burning on my hip. And even now, I know that when I don't stretch and keep my body elongated, that burning will come back. And as soon as I do a decompression of my psoas, all of a sudden, it's gone. So
And most people take Advil to alleviate the pain.
right,
Yeah.
but they never change the status of their body
Right.
because the pills always have customers.
Yes, they do.
So,
And
Body shop assessment.
multi-million-dollar ads.
oh my God, don't get me started. Exactly.
Cha-ching,
We're just gonna make you look bad because you don't work. Yeah, well, I'm here to say otherwise, and you too. So you started, Chella, because you always like to be on time.
I do.
The candle's burning. Go ahead, Chella.
Body mechanic.
Chella, you're heating up the dessert. Come on.
Okay, so, Siomata, Senor, what's your favorite furry animal?
Bears?
Bears. And yours?
Favorite furry animal?
Lion, tigers, and bears.
Oh, my.
I'm actually more of a cat person. So
Cat?
yes, large wild cats.
Large wildcats.
I like cheetahs.
Cheetah. So, Siomata,
They are pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is
Tell-
an amazing animal.
tell us 3 adjectives, three words describing why those are your favorite furry animals.
I know this assessment, so it's not fair for me.
Because he can fix it. Because he used it before he cracks them.
That's right. You still gotta make an answer.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
3 adjectives as to why.
It wasn't describing that.
Have you ever
favorite
asked her this assessment?
No.
animal. No, I
Oh, so
haven't.
this is going to be a
I
lot of fun.
This was
Hold on.
taught to
I
me
hope
in
that camera's zooming in on her. Hold on a second. Go like
It's
this.
taught to me
Go
in
like this.
school.
Shake your hands. Shake. Pretend you're like sipping some whole grain powder. Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, go ahead.
Why? Because they are soft.
Soft.
Yes, and you can cuddle.
She said you can cuddle.
Cuddle.
I like to cuddle on the,
Uh-huh.
like a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I go to bed, especially.
Comforting.
Right.
Yes.
Comforting.
Yes.
And give 'em out one more.
They're cute.
Cute. Cute. Okay.
I
And
think she
how
knows
about
this
you,
something.
sir?
They're sleek, fast, and strong.
Sleek, fast.
That's some of the best answers I've heard yet.
Right? That was rehearsed.
No, not rehearsed. I
he's-
know the
that's-
assessment, but those were my original descriptions.
Okay.
And I think
So those words that you shared with us, those words are how you,
Is it the favorite? You asked them the favorite color.
no, they're
No, not the
furry
color.
animal.
It's how people see you.
That's how people view you.
You said color, right?
No, the
Color
furry
animal.
animal.
No,
Right.
so
Color is how they see
favorite
themselves.
animal.
Right.
Animal.
Yeah. Favorite animal is how the universe perceives you, and then the next one is what's your favorite color?
I would say red.
Okay.
Burgundy. So it's still red.
Burgundy. So 3 adjectives as to why those are your favorite colors.
First.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd say because it symbolizes our life force, our blood. It's also can be very dark, so it's also part of the night.
Mysterious.
And the last adjective, because it makes a nice clothing color. No, I don't know. I really don't know the last one. Because I didn't.
Adjective.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Or adjective for the color. I guess mysterious. If
Okay.
it's a dark burgundy, a deep dark, like
Your dark is mysterious.
How about
That's
you,
what they tell
Simona?
us.
3 reasons why you like red.
Because it's bright.
Right?
Right.
And it looks good on me.
Looks good, okay.
what is your undertone?
And what else?
It's the color of love.
Oh, that's nice.
Affection.
So, yeah, affection. So that's how you view yourself.
Affectionate.
Colorful,
colorful.
mysterious. Yeah.
Cat-like.
I like the cats.
Okay,
And only kittens go with it. The lions don't exactly do that.
your turn, body mechanic.
You know, kittens actually do that.
Yes.
They do. If you actually, they've put critter cams on people's private cats and watch how they act when they're not home. And some that get out, they stalk just like lions
Oh,
and
of course
tigers. They're predators.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you something. If a cat was the same size as a dog, the dog would be done. I've seen cats stand dogs up.
That's why I like servals.
That's why he
I'd love to
tells
have
my
it.
dog.
Cats are no joke.
love to have a
their
serval.
teeth, their claws, and most people declaw them because they're in the house. They'll just shred. They'll scratch a dog's eyes out, and they're so fast. They're incredible. Even in the Serengeti, they're incredible. So, the next one is your favorite body of water. It could be a jacuzzi, it could be a cloud, it could be a lagoon.
Ocean.
My favorite
Yes.
is the ocean
That was fast.
because I know it.
It's an easy choice. Mine too. Same
Ocean?
Ocean?
Yeah.
So what is it about the ocean? Give me some adjectives about how the ocean makes you feel.
Calm, relax.
These are
One
coming
more.
out quick now. She don't even need a shake now. She's like rubbing her hands.
One more.
Oh,
Relax.
How about you?
My turn? She didn't do her last one.
Oh,
She
okay.
didn't do her relax.
That's right, 3. Calm, relaxed.
And can I think of it?
it'll come to her.
Okay.
Okay, your turn.
All right, I'll jump in. It is definitely calming. I like the ebb and flow of the tide.
Okay,
and
calming.
The deep, mysterious part of the ocean too.
Deepness,
Mystery.
mystery.
Yeah.
And
The
the, movement
beauty.
was the ebb and flow.
Beauty.
Beauty. Very nice.
So that's how you view sex.
These are aspects. I told you I knew kind of part of this.
I
but
know.
Mine is
I
a
know.
little bit
If you was hanging with the boys, you'd have a different answer.
I know that one. That one is the same part of the assessment.
Right.
I know.
So you've never done it on her, so it's good for you. You already know anyway. So, and then the last one is if you woke up and you found yourself in a white room with no windows and no doors, how would that make you feel?
Scary.
How else?
How else?
Will make me panic, I guess.
Panic,
Yeah.
scared, and what else?
Right.
Afraid?
Yeah.
How about you, sir?
I know what this one represents. So.
It's really different once you know it, isn't it?
It
You remember
it
what
is
you-
and it isn't, because after I answer this one, then I'll come back to mine, because the assessment that I have doesn't actually use this room. It uses how you would describe a house with a picket fence that's perfect. Everything, the house is perfect, and the picket fence is there. And then there's one or two rails of the picket fence that have rusted nails or they're falling out, and you describe that. But anyway, if I found myself awakened in a white room, I would probably, as long as it's not too bright, I'd probably be very relaxed, calm, somewhat trying to figure a way out, because there's always a way out of things if you work hard enough.
No windows and no doors.
No windows, no doors. Yes, I know. But
No,
there's
but he's
always-
saying, right? It's almost like feeling like a trap.
Yeah,
You wanna
it
get
is,
out.
it is kind of a trap, but
Yeah.
every trap has a way out.
Right.
And I would say not necessarily panic, but maybe a bit of frustration if you couldn't find a way out.
Frustration.
It's really interesting, people's vocabulary and how they describe things. But one thing I want to say, you are the first person ever to talk about the intensity of the white.
Yeah.
Because I guess
Because
blaring
it's not
white
too
would be
bright.
very different, right?
Right.
Than,
Yeah, if it's blaring,
Yeah.
then, I mean, and I love the sun, obviously. I do like the intensity of the sun in the summertime. I actually like being in the sun. I don't care how dark I get. And I miss it. I mean, I'm surprised I still live in New York. You know, I would love to be in either Florida, Texas, California, Central America, South America, where
we
get
talk
the
about
sun
this
up.
all the time because your body thrives in the sun.
Yeah.
People don't, I mean, we've been taught to bastardize the sun. It's completely,
The opposite.
completely wrong.
essential
Completely wrong.
nutrients are generated in our
Absolutely,
body.
vitamin D. I mean, all the
live
cancer
without it.
you can't live without it.
Cannot.
And so many people have problems because they put
lack it.
sunblock on and they run from the sun and they use umbrellas and they put paste on their face. I'm like, okay, you'll just overhear the coughing to the right. Because you can't even get into a conversation with them about the sun.
No.
Every mammal uses the sun. Every insect, every plant. Without the
Yeah,
sun,
very, very
the
few.
globe would just fold up and become a wasteland.
Very, very few animals and insects are not exposed to the sun. Very, very few.
And then the ones that aren't, they don't even have color. They're just kind of opaque and they're at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, bottom
they
of the
can-
ocean. And
yeah.
even moles have some
Right.
ability to withstand sunlight and light. But yeah, the things that don't have exposure to light, they usually generate their own, especially
Right.
deep sea creatures do
They
have the ability to
yes,
generate
they
their own
do.
light.
Yes, they glow or right, phytoplanktons. Yeah. So that's how you view death. Let me tell you what's interesting. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, and you don't have to answer it because you know some people have professional protocols. They don't want to.
I'm open.
But I don't really care what people think of me. And I've done some ceremonies with different chemicals, ayahuasca. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. In the Amazon, they do these rituals, and they've been doing them for hundreds of years. They perform these rituals on children, and they still to this day do those rituals. You can do them here, but they're quite expensive. If you go to Central and South America, they're very inexpensive because they're basically just different plants and roots of trees. They soak them for 20 hours, and they create this potion. And when you drink it,
Okay, yes, a friend of mine.
right,
just
it
recently did
stimulates
this,
it stimulates DMT, which is dimethyltryptamine. Dimethyltryptamine is a chemical that's released from your pineal gland. When you are born and you come through the birth canal, that's actually the most painful thing you'll experience as a human being. Actually, the baby body actually gets crushed on the way out. That's why they put a cap on to reshape the skull. But the whole time through, the babies are always quiet because this chemical is flooded in their body. So it's almost like being in REM sleep. The same thing happens when you dream. That chemical is released in your brain, DMT. When upon your final moments of leaving, most people think that people are in pain. They're not. And under the influence of that, the extra added chemical, there's a time when you see the white. It's incredible.
Just like the movies.
Right.
And we've asked this question many times, people, and it's interesting. It depends on where you are in your life and how you see life, how you answer that question. Because some people are just cool about things, and some people that are kind of agitated, and they answer accordingly. So it's not so much about death, it's just about how you see a lot of things.
That's right.
So, because we don't live outside of our bodies, we live in our bodies and we live in our head. Our life is through our brain. How we see the world, how we receive things, it's all filtered through this matter up here. So these assessments are awesome.
I love them. When we come back, I'd like to talk more about the spine and the work that you do.
Yes, I want to develop, because we want people to understand not to be afraid of something that really, really can help them. And when someone tells me something is bad, you got to really question where it's coming from.
Yeah, so we're going to take phone calls here at the Madhouse Studio, 631-669-7999. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, GMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhouse TV. You are the man.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chilla Chella.
And I am the very shy body mechanic NYC, trying to keep hope alive.
Dr. Williams, do you think he's shy?
At heart, yes.
Good answer.
He's right. He's right.
Good answer.
I am. I'm very tender.
Yes, we know how tender you are.
Yes,
So,
very tender right now.
yes, Dr. Williams, so talk to us about your specialty and this tour that you brought in.
Okay. I am a chiropractor, which is basically a doctor that treats patients for various problems, anything from the most common stuff that patients come to us for. Neck pain, back pain, arm pain, things like that. Really common stuff.
When they come in for like neck pain and stuff like that, what kind of things do you share with them?
Well, I actually am quite quiet, and I'm listening to them because most people have a pretty good idea of what their normal feels like compared to their abnormal. After they've shared as much as they can with me and they start to get silent, then I ask them the basic doctor questions. When did it start? What makes it better? What makes it worse? The basic OPQRST stuff that doctors do.
You ask them about their profession?
I ask them more than just their profession. Obviously, part of what their daily activities are in their jobs, as well as what they do outside, because most people have some aspect of a life outside of their work.
Right.
Some. Not all do. Some people are just their jobs. They go home, they eat, do their family stuff if they have families, or become a potato in front of a TV. That too is very significant to their problem or contributing to their health. We do a basic exam, neurological exam, orthopedic exam. If anything is kind of striking me as strange, then shouldn't say anything, but there's always things that are strange or not strange. But if anything doesn't appear to be quote unquote normal, then they get referred to other health professionals for their professional opinion as to what may be done. But typically, they come in, they talk, I examine, I talk with them, try to develop a dialogue, break down that doctor-patient wall, and let them know that I'm another human being that actually does care for them.
I could feel that coming across pretty easily. You have that demeanor about you.
Good bedside manner.
Well, he's able to make people feel calm because it's, you know, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, a lot of people get that white coat syndrome. They panic, their blood pressure
I actually
goes
don't
up.
wear a white coat unless I dress like this and I try and cover it up with a white coat.
I know, because it's like, it starts the whole mindset.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. I call it convalescent mindset. Oh my God, here we are.
Yeah, I really don't do that. I actually have them sit in a chair if they're capable of sitting, and I will sit on the table, and I always face them, and you know I tell them, you know, basically I'm going to ask you the typical doctor questions. You know, don't hesitate to answer. You know, and I kind of coach them with stuff like thing that patients have a lot of difficulty describing is what their pain feels like, because they're just it's pain. But pain is easily described by a host of adjectives that I throw at them because they're like, it hurts. Okay, is it sharp, dull, achy, numb, stiff, burning, tingling, throbbing? And I try to get them to pick one of those.
Right, because it is. Right, because people, remember I was telling you before, like when you describe, if you tell somebody about something, you just go, it's bad, it's not really an indicator of what bad is, because there are levels.
Yeah,
do you use 1 to 10?
Yes.
The level of
we
pain?
We do. We do.
Okay.
The pain scale is somewhat skewed, though, because
Right,
for everyone, it's like, it's the worst thing I've ever felt.
But someone who's never had pain, it could be that way.
Yeah, for someone that's never had it, it is the worst thing they've ever felt. I try to let them know that, you know, we are able to help them to some degree, but it's not going to be like taking a painkiller where you pop the pill, 30 minutes, 45 minutes later.
Your body's numb.
Your body is incapable of feeling pain, and that is not the presence of health. You know, we are a group of individuals that have different approaches. Like I said, there's a physical therapist, we do have a medical doctor, we do have acupuncture. All of us, the three of us that are the main treaters, myself, the physical therapist, and the acupuncturist, so we all do massage with patients, given that that's one of the things that is going to help them. Obviously,
That's awesome.
If you don't have, I mean, obviously, if you have muscular tearing, then no, it's not something that we're going to do.
It's a contraindication.
But you know, we try to educate them, those that are receptive to the whole understanding of what chiropractic is and what physical therapy is and what acupuncture is. We do a lot of talking. You know, there will be days when there may not be any hands-on. It'll just be a dialogue between the patient and stuff, and they'll still walk out like, you know what, I feel great. And it's because this is working and it's helping the rest
And
of it.
they're understanding what's going on.
Yeah, you have to, I mean, I feel you have to educate the patient as to what health is. And we really try, even on the times, like I said, when it gets after that 5 o'clock time, yeah, it does become semi-cookie cutter, but we still are always asking them, how are you feeling? How's this? How's the husband? How's the son? How's the daughter? And because that does play a huge role in
Dynamics of health.
Yeah,
Do you find a majority of your clients have lower back pain?
No, we actually have a whole host of things. I mean, we do have patients that have been in car accidents, work-related accidents, but we also have a lot of nurses because we're near a elderly care facility, and there tends to be mid-level professionals that are a lot of our patients. We have taxi drivers. Yes, they have a lot of lower back pain.
They sit a lot.
some bus drivers, some children. I like kids because they respond very, very quickly as opposed to adults. And I like to have...
Why do you think that is?
Because of a few different things. Their length of time on the planet has not exposed them to as many toxins as an elderly adult or mid-level adult. Their bodies are still producing lots of chemicals that promote rapid healing.
Right.
And they're very, very open to a lot of things mentally that adults are not. And their stress levels are, that's a relative term. You know?
Chell, did he say open? That's a powerful word.
Yeah. They're open. You know, most of the, like, let's say I've had kids as young as, I've had infants come in, parents bring them, but usually 5, 6, 7, 8, they're the ones that are running in like, oh no, me first, me first. And they jump on the table, and
that is so awesome.
You know, they
really are open.
What do you do with infants?
It's usually the parent that brings in the infant because the parent is the patient, and they're like, well, if it's good for me, then it's got to be, you know, potentially helpful for other members of the family. But infants are very, very easy, whether it be the mother or the father. They're usually lying on top of their parent, and you evaluate them by hand and by what the parent says that they're used to or not used to, or colic is a very common one. And it's very, 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 very gentle. It's usually just the fingers down the spine. It's more of an evaluation of what's moving and what's not moving because they don't have fully developed spines. They have more cartilage and muscle and skin. So they're easy to, I'm going to use this word loosely, manipulate than adjust, because an adjustment is a very specific type of thrust that is introduced into the body to help to realign, to normalize motion, to normalize position, and then your body does the rest of what needs to be done. Because I don't like to use the word pinched nerves and things like that, because nerves don't really get pinched, and
they get irritated.
They're irritated. Nerves are high.
If it's pinched, it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's not going to. I mean, it's not like taking a hose or flowing water and bending it and then there's no flow. Nerves are highly sensitive structures. I mean, the weight of a paper clip can kill nerves. Because they are living tissue. They have blood supply, blood drainage, there's an immune system that runs around them, there's fatty tissues that surround them too. So usually what happens is you're interfering with the surrounding tissues. And once you are able to remove some of that interfering blockage, then your body is able to begin the healing process. You know, even though I'm a chiropractor, I am specifically restricted in dealing with the spine, but I also talk with them about nutrition and anything else that they feel
it's
is
like
important.
One-stop shopping, man.
Well, we try. You know, given the time frame, like I said, that's where the Tuesdays, Thursdays come in. I can spend a lot more time with people, and I will talk with them for a decent amount of time. And midday, if they happen to come in midday when we have more time, then I will. But everyone gets a very quick talk about food and nutrition. Everyone really does.
That's awesome.
That's where I find out if they're open to it or not. And then while I'm doing my little quick massage with them or doing the adjustments with them, I talk to them about genetically modified foods and organic foods and things like that. Yes, I do.
I think I've died and gone to heaven. No, this is, you know, when I met you and we talked, I could tell you, like, when you meet people that think in the same realm, it's empowering. And I'm really honored to have you on the show. And anyone who meets you, who gets to work with you, I'm pretty sure they'll be in the best hands. So it's really...
Like I said, we try. You know, we can help 85% of the patients to
That's
some
a pretty
degree.
high track record, I have to say.
Well, no, that's pretty much, I would say that's chiropractic and all holistic practitioners.
Right. But when you compare it to, the other side.
Yeah, which I try not to beat up the other side either. They have their specifics. I mean, if I tend to stay away from hospitals unless I am having a heart attack
Your leg
or
is hanging off outside the window.
I have a body part that is not functioning because it's been stabbed or shot or broken, then they're quite well equipped to handle.
Right. I agree with that.
But all of the other aspects, I would seek a chiropractor, a massage therapist, acupuncturist, or any holistic practitioner before I try the other stuff.
So, Dr. William, why don't you give us an overview of the spine that you brought, like maybe a 101 for dummies?
Okay. Well,
Because is the body supposed to have those curves in there?
Their curves are
I
supposed
thought curves
to be
are just
there.
for the bottom.
No, we're actually born with 2 curves.
Chella's got 4.
Chella has 4. Actually, when we're developing in the womb, we're in a C shape, which is.
You mean like?
Yep, exactly like that kind of.
That's why we want to sleep like that all the time.
I would hope so. No.
Man, they don't make a pillow
Yes.
like that. Come on, a pillow like that. You get
Nope.
called the
Yeah,
C pillow.
a
Chiropractic
body pillow where you can
body
actually
shop
hug it
pillow.
and hold. Yes, a body shop pillow.
Body
Is that
shop,
okay?
body
Is that
pillow.
okay when people are stiff to do that?
It depends on what their problem is. I mean, you can't apply one thing to everyone. You're an individual, and you have to look at the individual problems and individual traumas or lack thereof that people have. So that's where the talking with them and letting them speak to you to figure out what is going on, and then you apply whatever professional knowledge that you have to that specific problem. But we are born with curves. The curve that we initially are born with is the curve in our mid-back, which is this part right there. And you have 12 corresponding ribs that go along with that. When our muscles start to develop, they're pulling on our skeleton, because that's what muscles are designed to do, to move our skeleton. It introduces a curve into our lower back. And when we start to crawl, you can't crawl with your head down like that, so the muscles of the neck develop and they pull the head up, and it introduces a curve into our neck.
From the crawling position.
From the crawling,
Wow.
I mean, infants, they start like this, but they have to see where they're going, so their head pops up, and those muscles become very strong with the aid of a really strong ligament that's there that helps to keep and hold our heads upright. And those curves are there to accommodate the stresses of daily life.
Gravity.
And gravity. All the things in nature that are very, very strong tend not to be rigid. They tend to be very flexible. For example, if you were to take a really strong giant oak tree, transplant that from the northeast of this country and take it to Florida and have one hurricane hit, that tree is probably not going to make it. But those really flexible yet strong palm trees flap around in the wind and always come back.
Interesting why
They
they don't
do.
grow
And the
down
same thing
there.
with grass too. I mean, grass you think of as a very weak structure, but you can chop it down to the ground, and in 5 to 7 days it'll be back up, and it always bends and moves with the wind. So,
Like a dance.
yeah, like our dance, and our spines are kind of designed to be that way too. That's where the curves come in. They bend and flex at those areas that they're designed to. They rotate. They move left, right, forward, back, and all combinations. And specifically talking about our spines, all of the movements that we make, we call them coupled motions. Because if you just bend forward, it's not just one bone bending on top of another. Because of the pull of the ligaments and also the muscles and shape of the joints, they're coupled motions. So if you bend forward, there's a little bit of movement pulling straight down, or if you turn left or turn right, it's not just a simple spin. It's, again, the same turning, but it's also moving down, and also sometimes a little bit of translation or movement away from the position that you're moving to, depending on the part of the body that you're in. And sometimes it's a movement, if you lean left, the bones will actually move left with you. So it all has to do with the body part that you're talking about and the specific areas. So
It's pretty dynamic. There's a
we are a
stabilizing, always
dynamic.
it's
We are a
incredible.
dynamic being, and everything with respect to us is not very static, and expect change. That's what we have to expect. So,
Wow.
it is a very interesting choice of career. I'm going to talk really, really quickly about my what I feel is my biggest success. When I was still in school, there was an Asian gentleman that was a cook in his family restaurant. I don't know whether it was a Chinese restaurant or something, but I know that he was an Asian man. He did not speak any English. He came to the clinic with, I believe, was a niece and a nephew, because his son and daughter were taking his spot. And he had lower back pain, and he had already had spinal surgery. So he had stainless steel rods in his spine. And because of standing for 16 hours a day cooking, I guess the stress of doing that affected his body. So he came in, and
He had the rods in already.
he had rods in already.
Wow.
Luckily, they didn't cover the entire lower back. It did mainly the upper portion and middle portion. So all of his bending and movement came from the last two bones of his lower back. So because of a technique that's called flexion distraction, which is very similar to decompression,
Right.
it left us just that area to work with. And so we worked in that area specifically with the technique of flexion distraction or decompression. And I'm guessing it was somewhere around a month and a half, because I've been out of school for a long time now. It's, I think 22, 23 years I've been out. And so he was coming in very regularly, very consistently for, I'd say, 2 to 3 times a week for about, like I said, about a month and a half. And then he stopped coming. And then one day I noticed the niece and the nephew coming in, and they had bags and things in their hands, and they were kind of crying, and I'm like, uh-oh, what happened? And they didn't speak English very well either, but they got one of their customers to write in English on this card that they brought, and they thanked me because their uncle, the reason I haven't seen him is because he's back on his feet 16 hours a day cooking in the
Wow.
restaurant, and that's why I haven't seen them. And their tears were tears of happiness. So it was
Oh,
a
that's
very,
nice.
very cool.
That's nice.
That's
thing to-
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was what I consider to be one of my biggest.
Well, he got his livelihood back.
Yeah, he was able to do that. And I did not see him again. I did graduate, and unfortunately, I never, because I didn't get the ability to be able to converse with him, because he did not, I mean, hello and goodbye was pretty much it for his ability to speak English.
So, Dr. Lee, when we come back, we're going to see you in action with the body mechanic on the table. How's that?
I just want to say something before we go to commercial break. About 8 years ago, I started playing violin. I work with violinists, and because I do body work on many different realms. But I was working specifically with concert violinists, and I started playing myself. And within 8 or 9 months, I had a recital. I'll never forget it. I was practicing literally probably 4 hours a day. And I remember I had a recital. It was on a Monday. I woke up Monday morning, and the way I got up, I was lying on my back. And when I lifted my body, I heard. So when I went to move, I couldn't move. And when I turned, oh my God, it was terrible. It felt like my head had actually separated from my shoulder. So I literally had to hold my head, right? And when I felt, it felt like it was that far off.
Wow.
So here I am in a taxi cab, and I'm trying to find a chiropractor. Every bump the car hit, it felt like someone had cut my body in half. Like I can't explain how bad it was. So I get to the chiropractor, right? And I walk and I'm holding my head. I'm literally holding my head like this. And literally, I mean, and I'm thinking, because if you think about what other options did I really have, what would be done if I went to a Western facility with something like that?
That would be still
How would they
messed up.
treat that?
No,
Because they don't use chiropractic.
they don't use quote unquote holistic approaches, but
'Cause I think
they
have
probably
pictures-
would have
I think they have
X-rayed
pictures at the
you.
door. Chiropractor's not allowed.
Medication.
That depends. That depends.
No, but you know what
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying.
I do.
My,
I do.
Like I felt my spine; it was like shifted. So I'm like,
No, they probably would have X-rayed you, depending if you had said that there was some sort of trauma that you had recently in your life, because that's a very typical healthcare question. You know, they want to know recent history as well as family history, things like that. But in the absence of trauma, they probably would have just given you some sort of painkiller and/or muscle relaxer and sent you
on my
home.
way.
But again, I'm not a medical doctor,
No.
so I'm not capable of telling you exactly how.
But do you know how crazy that is? Because it's like it needs to be put back in place.
Yeah, if
really-
that's the problem, you know, I mean, it could be just muscular. Usually, the clicking and popping and things that people describe, and then they have their pain, is because they've already injured themselves, and they've had these little hints and clues multiple times, and they've been ignored because they were not enough of a hint or a clue
Right.
to stop you from doing.
No, I had nothing. I had no trauma before that. I mean, I was playing a lot, and you know, with the violin, your head is turned to the side, so you're kind of like this. But when I sat up, I think I was kind of startled, and I just sat up, and I felt the shift. So, and it was just like,
Static positions are a form of trauma. I mean, I've also had an airplane mechanic come in as a patient too. He was inside of an engine, and he had to contort his body to be able to reach different parts, and he was not able to straighten up after he got out. So, you know, that too. You know.
right, he was locked in a position for a
Yeah,
long time.
I mean, that is a form of trauma, but we don't think that it is because we're not moving. You know, we're associating trauma with an accident or falling down the stairs or something like that. But you can hold your body in one position for an extended period of time, and you know,
You're
muscles have memory, and once they lose that memory, and you try to put them back, they pull back, and that's usually when you get that popping or clicking that you hear, which is just gases that escape from the joints when
Right.
you move quickly, and the muscle's like, hey, this is where I was the other day, and I've been here for 5 hours, and this is where I'm staying, and that's kind of what happens.
That's why moving is the key. Keep
Yes,
it
motion,
moving and
motion is life.
I agree.
Definitely.
Otherwise, death is catching up.
So we're going to take a break right now. And Dr. William, you're going to do your thing with the body mechanic. Good luck with that. And then we're going to talk about this beautiful Thanksgiving dinner that
Oh my
Xiomara
gosh.
brought us. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. I'm the Body Mechanic, and here we are with Hammond. He is a chiropractor, and what we're going to do is we're going to do something that most people actually have fear about. I've had experience it many times, and he's going to do an adjustment on me. You can explain what you're going to do or talk about it a little bit, and watch.
Okay. What I'm going to do with our Body Mechanic here is just a very basic cervical adjustment, which an adjustment is. It's a very, very gentle force that's introduced into the spine to help to restore normal motion and positioning to the bones of the spine. We do a very hands-on, quick assessment, especially since he's been a patient before, so it's not as in-depth as I would do with someone that's never been done. It's never had a chiropractic adjustment before.
Yes, I have had adjustments.
He's had plenty of adjustments, so it's more the aggressive, go-get-them athlete type of adjustment that I would do with him. Initially, we start out with the patient lying face up. This is called a cervical rotary adjustment. He's probably jumping now because my hands are freezing because it's winter time.
They're fine.
And just feeling through the muscles, seeing how relaxed he is, a little bit of traction. And again, just assessing as to what area is not moving compared to the areas that are. And there are 7 bones that make up the neck area. So you may see me moving in and out more than 7 times, but that's because sometimes we test one area multiple times to see which ones are moving and not moving. And when we actually do the adjustment, you may or may not hear and feel the popping, cracking sensation that everyone tells you that they have heard and felt. Although you may see a lot of head movement, the introduction of motion into the area is very, very minimal. It's also very, very fast. As what an adjustment is a very high velocity, low amplitude thrust, and all of that fancy stuff means basically it's very, very quick, but also very, very short in distance.
Wow.
And anyone that's old enough to know who Bruce Lee is, they may have heard of his 1-inch punch.
Well, that 1-inch punch, my arm is like ready to throw one right now. Let me tell you, I feel freaking great. It's so awesome. I don't even know what to say. I'm lost for words. Let me tell you, folks, I slept wrong about a week ago, and my shoulders slowly got worse and worse, and I felt my neck, and I felt tingling in my cervical spine. And a lot of us will think that pain comes from, sometimes pain can be transient. When you have challenges in your spine, it can actually, that pain will be felt in other parts of your body. Up until about 30 seconds ago when I lie on the table, I could not move my head further than this. And now my neck is a lot better. It's a little sore, which is understandable,
Yes.
right? But I can tell you this. Oh my gosh. I think everybody should go to the table and get cracked. All right, folks. It's the Body Mechanic from Body Shop TV with Hammond.
Hello.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank
We'll
you
be
for
right
being
back.
a patient.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the ecstatic body mechanic in my city.
You feel better?
I am feeling spectacular right now.
Oh,
what?
Good, good.
That was $1 million adjustment.
Dr. Hammond, why don't you give us your contact information?
What do you charge?
What do I
$2,000 an hour? Minimum. That's the minimum you must charge.
No.
Hold on a second. Feels so good. Just don't know. Chella, how was that a few days ago?
No, this morning. This morning,
Oh, my
getting
God.
in the truck, it was you were like, oh man.
Oh my God. Yeah, because you start protecting yourself. The body remembers pain. That's another thing.
So give us
The
your
body
contact
remembers pain.
information.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Our Jamaica office is at 183-11 Hillside Avenue in Jamaica. And our phone number is 718-297-0909. And our Queens Village location is at 206-11 Hillside Avenue again in Queens Village. And the phone number there is 718-217-2800.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you again for coming and being
Thank
on
you.
Body Shop TV.
I just want to say
So-
a few more things. One more thing.
Come on.
One more
This
thing.
is not fair.
You're right. Okay. let's go.
Siamada's
I'm
been
sorry.
here for 2
That is true.
hours
Let's go.
already. Siamada, welcome to Body Shop TV. Este es una boca grande, ¿verdad? Okay. Coño, me cago en diez.
Hey, I understand that.
Yeah, what did I say?
Yeah, you too.
My father taught me that. Me
Yeah,
cago en diez. Anyway, welcome. And you brought us a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, you are so
Explain.
funny, Sugar
What?
Mama.
No, I want you to. This is so beautiful. Can we get a close-up, engineers?
Kind of, somewhat.
This is so awesome. So explain to us what this is, Siamada.
Yeah, we'll hold
This
it
looks
for
so
you.
good.
Hold it
Thanksgiving
for you. Hold
dinner. And I got you the turkeys.
Thank you. Tilt it this way. Go ahead.
And mashed potatoes and gravy. And this is sweet potatoes and marshmallows.
Oh my
And
goodness.
this is the macaroni and cheese. And the cherry pie and corn on the cob with the butter and peas and carrots and stuffing.
Well, this is for you, body mechanic. Peas and carrots.
That is freaking
That
awesome.
is so nice.
Hey, you know how I feel about sugar, but I'll tell you, I don't feel like going in now.
So
I see
you
some
all
turkey
said
legs. I want to bite.
Awesome.
you all said for your Thanksgiving dinner.
That's right. That is so awesome.
Well, you know, we saw each other last week, and you had bought some treats then.
Yes.
And share with our audience some of your ingredients, because, you know, I usually don't recommend eating sweet things, but, you know, you've kind of figured out a way around that.
Yeah.
Last week I brought you the black beans.
That was great.
They're supposed to be substitution for chocolate.
Well, you know what's interesting? I was not going to eat it, and this woman blocked the path for me.
She sure did.
Said, you don't, body mechanic, so
She was very
I tried it, and I
aggressive.
was like, where's the rest? In fact, I took some more with me after I left. It was excellent.
It was
really
excellent.
good.
It was really, really good. I'm impressed. And I really don't recommend anything that's sweet, but that's really, really good.
Thank
The
you.
ingredients are really, and I felt good after I ate it too.
So you're
I
a
go and eat
baker.
36 more, but
You're a baker by trade.
No, actually I do as a habit.
A hobby.
hobby.
A habit.
Wow.
It started like that, but then my friends and family always say, like, why don't you sell it? It's so nice, you should sell it. So 2 years ago, I started sell it out to the public, and so far, so good.
She showed me pictures of cakes that she's made for different occasions. They are unbelievable.
Are we like graduating up the scale? Remember we had Amy, who was the one that did the cakes?
She never came on the show.
But
Amy, the birthday
right,
cakes.
used to make cakes for us, but like
Yes.
you take it to another whole nother level.
Oh, no doubt.
This is like
awesome.
this is like sugar art.
Yes.
This is like sweet art.
See,
baby.
Amanda, I'm curious. This one, the corn with the butter, what is that made out of, the butter?
Oh, that's Starbucks.
Starburst.
Starburst. That's the candy.
Your favorite, Chella.
Starburst. And then what are these peas and the macaroni and cheese? Are those jelly beans?
Those are jelly beans. This the macaroni and cheese, but the peas and carrots.
The peas and carrots.
The peas are actually just sugar that I found it in that shape,
Uh-huh.
and
And
the
this-
carrots I shape it with to find the mold. I mean, to shape it to the.
Oh, yeah? And then what about the stuffing? What are these? This is like Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies.
That is?
Yes.
Wow.
And then I just.
Chella, you're an
cut.
expert too, obviously.
So you know what this looks like? The butter. It looks like white chocolate.
That looks like that'll go great with coquito.
Yes. Oh, speaking of coquitos, let's take a break.
Bootleg Betty. Oh, what?
No. Just speaking of coquitos, Bootleg Betty has a whole lot of bottles already bottled, ready, packaged to sell.
Don't even get. I had to go to AA after hanging out with you for a week.
I make the best. You know coquito is, right?
Oh my God,
I
she
make
makes
the
coquito
best
crack. I'm telling you.
It's called Bootleg Betty Coquito.
Bootleg Betty.
So place your order. Hit me up.
I'm telling you, I don't drink. This stuff is like.
So Siamata, what is the pepper that you put, the black mist?
That is cookie.
Crumb?
Yes.
Like Oreo?
Oreo cookie.
Oh, the
ma-
crumb.
to make it crumbs to look like.
Look at that
Shella,
white
these
pepper.
are trade secrets. You can't ask her that.
I'm not allowed?
No, you are.
Oh, okay.
These are trade secrets. Come on
Okay,
now.
so
Shark Tank is looking right now.
The cherry pie, how did you make the crust? What's the brown?
That's just icing and color.
Wow. And the turkeys are?
The turkeys are made out of caramel candy.
That's the one I want. Caramel
No,
candy.
I want that chocolate one in the middle.
All right, well, there's another turkey one over here. That's
Oh.
caramel también.
The caramel that I flatten it to
And
make
then you
the
should make
body.
a sheet.
That is
Yeah.
so cute.
Hold on a second. This is like
I love-
sculpture.
can I pick this
Let
up?
me ask you something. How long does it take for you to make one of these things? Like, how long does it take you to make the turkey?
Look at this.
Shella, why are
The
you holding my
cupcakes.
piece?
I just want to show
Okay, I
everybody.
think he's taking a bite out of it.
Before the body mechanic consumes this.
You know good well I'm not going to eat that sugar.
Yes, you are. Is this red velvet?
Yes.
Oh, wow. This is going to be a good one.
Yes, it is. And I'll tell you all
This
about
is
it.
So
Shella, why don't you
nice.
bite it?
Okay, these green leaves are what?
The green leaves are actually
Is there such thing as
jelly
salsa?
beans. Jelly beans that I cut them in half to make
You
the
s-
leaves.
You took a lot
Hold
of
on,
time
hold on
to
a
do
second.
this.
Oh, this is, I'm telling you, this is like sculpture.
Yes.
So,
It's like art.
so how long would it take you to make this tray?
Is that the
Probably
most cutest
2,
thing?
3 hours.
This is special
2 or 3 hours to make all of this?
The decoration. I mean,
Just the decorations.
The decoration, because the baking, I do it another hour or 2 hours to bake. I mean, because I don't do everything in a box.
Everything's from scratch.
It's scratch, so I had to measure. I had to
Even the batter is from scratch?
The batter is from scratch.
The red velvet cake is from scratch? Ay, Dios mío.
Look at her. Look how healthy she looks. She's doing something right. I tell
Wow.
you. This is awesome. I'm really impressed. That's literally.
I don't
like
want to eat them, though. They're too pretty to eat.
Oh, yeah, you're saying that right now.
No, for real. I
No,
want
we
to
come
actually...
back from commercial break. You'll have like powder on your face. And
I want to
everything.
save this for Thanksgiving. This is so pretty to serve, right?
Yes, that's basically most of the things that I sell. People don't want to cut it, even though for their birthday they always cut. I mean, leave the centerpiece, and I go to their homes and I still see it there.
Aww. That's
That's
nice.
awesome.
So let me ask you a question. What would something like this run if somebody wanted to order this for Thanksgiving?
Each one is $4, so that's $50.
It's worth it.
No, hold on.
It's
Only
worth it.
$4? Do you know what
And
they
you
charge
spent
out in
3
town for something that
hours?
don't even come close to what you have here?
Wow.
But then if I overprice it, people don't want to buy it.
Right, that's
so,
Well, that's
$4.
because it's not on Madison. But if it's on Madison, that's a $12. That's a
Exactly.
$20 cupcake. That turkey leg is a $20.
But look at the mashed potatoes and gravy. All right, the gravy is caramel. This looks real. Does it look real? Look at this. I should be a cupcake model.
Dangerous cupcake bottle.
Dangerous cupcake model.
Oh my God, that's really impressive.
So I went to Florida, and there's a store that's I don't remember the name of it, but they have gourmet cupcakes, and their cupcakes are big.
Yes.
And they come in a box. Do you make big cupcakes?
yes, the jumbo.
Yeah?
How much were they? Do you remember? Because you know,
I don't
in
remember.
a novelty place, they can go for 3 and 4 times more.
Exactly.
Right, but wherever you are, so because you can have a specific market for it, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, because
Yep.
I usually like for me to do things organic and move away from the tradition, but most people not ready for that.
They don't even
That's
appreciate
right.
what
Yeah.
you do for them, and that's why you're on the show, because we want to let know people that they have alternatives, healthy alternatives.
But see, Amada, although people are not ready for it, if you continue to speak about it, it'll catch on one person at a time. Just keep on doing what you're doing.
Yes,
They
because
say-
I know that especially there's a big movement for organic and people who want to stay away from corn syrup and
Or get back to organic, because that's the way it was.
exactly,
You know?
especially young kids. They
Oh
have
my gosh.
allergies and things like that. There's a movement for moving away from that.
So, Siamara, do you have a few more minutes to spend with us? We're going to take a break and we're going to come back. Because I want to learn more about where you get this drive to do this and other things that you do, all right? So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Stop the truck! Stop the truck! Please. Thank you. Stop the truck! Stop the truck! Please. Thank you.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I'm the Body Mechanic NYC,
How you
feeling much
feeling?
better.
Do you?
Hallelujah.
Wow, you got a new client. Look at that.
Oh no, he's got 1,000 new clients.
Yeah, because
my
he's
talk-
good at marketing.
Yo, let me tell you, man, you got to see me in action. I feel like I'll walk around with a spot attached to my back. Yeah, where did that come from?
So, Siamara, these beautiful cupcakes that you've done, you do cakes as well.
Yes.
What else do you bake?
Birthday cakes.
Do you do pies?
Yes, but very little.
Very little?
Yeah.
What got you to do this? What inspired you?
Like I told you before, I always have Thanksgiving and Christmas and dinners at the house, and I always have something baked because I like to do everything from scratch, even though my sister hates it.
Who taught you?
I used to watch a lot of the Food Network, and then I moved in the library to find books about cooking, and then I always wanted to do something nice for the table. So that's how I started doing things for the table. And then my sister is very friendly, and she always have a lot of friends coming over. And one of her friends used to tell me, "Why don't you sell them? They're nice. I'm sure you can find customers." And after she telling me that, year after year, then one year I decided to start selling, and I did a couple of parties at the house for Thanksgiving, Christmas, before, like a week before. And that year I did very well. I sold more than I spent, and I made a lot of profit.
Do you do this full time?
No, I would like to, but I don't have enough customers.
No?
I don't know. We'll work on that.
You will now.
I'll walk down the street with a turkey leg hanging out my mouth.
And a spine on your back.
That's right. That's it, man. I'll tell you. Cupcake here, spine. What's up with that spine, man?
So you two are a couple, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
How long have you known each other?
A lot of years.
A lot of years?
About 12 to 15 years, right
12.
around there.
Because the body
See,
shop,
men count. Women just say long time.
the body shop is about.
Because he say 15 for me, it's like a 20.
He's like
15,
12
20.
years, 12
We're-
years, 3 days.
We're
22
all about
minutes.
wellness and relationships. We rarely talk about relationships because the body mechanic always monopolizes the time by talking about wellness. But since I have your attention, I have a captive audience right now. The body mechanic always likes
feeling a little
to ask.
antsy.
Yes, you should. The body mechanic always likes to ask this question to couples. Do you remember the day of the week that you guys met?
The day of the week?
Uh huh.
I bet you she does.
Well, it needed to be a Monday to Friday because he met me at the bank where I used to work. So the bank only is open Monday to
No, they open on
Oh, wait a
Saturday
minute. So
too.
he saw you in the bank?
Yes.
You were working in the bank?
Yes.
That's where you met.
Yes.
Do you remember the day?
You don't do the same thing? You don't go to the bank, go to the bank the same day of the week?
No.
No,
There's no
he used to
routine.
go to the bank almost every day because his office was like a walking distance.
Yeah, my office was relatively close to the bank.
So he walks into the bank. Like,
No, it didn't start it like that.
I tried. So how did it work? Tell us how it was.
He was very friendly with the manager and people at on the floor, and he used to come almost every day to have lunch with them. So they used to tell me he likes you, and I used to say no. He's
Because
not
of the
really.
stare, he was like,
So then he comes with one of his friends from outside. He used to come to my window and talk to me, and his friend used to be very bubbly, talking a lot and teasing a lot. So he made me laugh a lot of the times. And I used to be in school back then, so he used to come and help me. And he used to go in the lunchroom of the bank and help me with
Wow,
my
he had a-
homework.
In
he
the
had a
lunchroom?
plan.
Yeah.
He had a plan.
Wow.
I used to be, as she said, very
It's kind of
friendly
like
with the manager.
cat-like, you know what I mean?
No. Not quite.
I'm just messing.
I was taking Shakespeare, and for me, because English is not my first language, it was very complicated to understand what it meant. So he used to help me to decipher Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
You two seem like a
That is
wonderful,
so-
wonderful couple.
right?
You really do.
That is so romantic.
It really
So where'd you
is.
go on your first date?
To the movies.
What'd you say?
Wolf,
Wolf, the
movie.
What's the name?
Wolf with that actually wasn't a really
DiCaprio.
first date. No, not DiCaprio.
Oh, the
Michelle,
Wolf. Oh, you're
yeah,
talking about-
Michelle
oh, you're
Pfeiffer and
oh, yeah.
I can't remember the male actor's name. But
See,
the
that
first
wasn't-
place we actually went was Great Adventure.
Really?
Great. That's
Yeah.
perfect place
That's
to go.
exciting.
Yes, you
You
should
go
be
to
having a
rides?
roller coaster. Yeah.
I had a huge fear of heights, and I didn't let her know. And the first ride we went on was Stuntman's Free Fall, which is not there anymore.
Wow.
That's a
It's
ride.
not there anymore, but yeah, that was
Way to bite the bullet.
Yeah.
You got to face your fears.
What'd you think after that?
The roller coasters were fun, and then we went on Batman and Lightning Loop, not Lightning Loops. I don't even remember the name of those things. It's too long ago.
Yeah, they have some now that are have 8 or 9 seconds of free fall. They
I
have
know.
some incredible
Then you
things.
come back out of there like.
You like that stuff?
No.
We do. We used to go on a lot of roller coasters.
Yes, but the last time you didn't go, and I went with my sister, and they were so violent. I came out of there like
violent.
Yes.
Yeah, the new roller coasters are violent. They
really,
definitely
really are. They really want to shock people. They really. I like them, and my daughter is like an adrenaline junkie. I mean, they have one in Coney Island called the Slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been down and seen that?
No.
It
No, I
goes
haven't
up
been.
300 feet. It's a ball
Wow.
that it anchors in and is like a bungee cord, and they throw you up. You go 300 feet. So I'm in there with my daughter. She's 8 years old, and we're free fall. She's like, Dad, this is not too bad, and it's at nighttime.
And you're going.
I'm like this, and she's like,
Yeah,
Kids
you
have no
gotta
fear of
you gotta
death.
get
Yeah.
used to that though.
So are you two married?
Yes.
I see that you don't wear rings. Is there
I
a reason
know.
for that?
Yes,
What's the reason?
action.
What's the reason?
He's always ready to adjust.
What's
Can't
the
have
reason?
magnetic forces flowing around.
No, actually, when we got married, I had every intention of gaining weight. And the ring that I had was really, really tight then. And so we went back to the store and got a ring that was bigger, and I never gained any weight, so it falls off. And that's why I don't wear my rings.
So they have ring guards.
Yeah, but it was really too big. Especially in the wintertime, your body conserves
Right.
heat, and one of the things it does is your fingers
Shrinks.
and things shrink. So that's the reason why I don't wear
And
my ring.
what's your reason?
It's too much cake dough is gonna get in once he's cleared it.
No,
Sugar.
my reason is, if you don't want to wear it, you have your reasons, then why should I be displacing? I'm married.
That's interesting.
He doesn't want to displace that he's
But
married.
it's obvious when y'all together, you're a couple.
Yes,
So
no doubt.
You don't need a ring, and you guys know what's going on with the
That's
two of
right.
you, and that's all that matters.
You guys
Rings
are an
are for
awesome
other folks.
couple. You have very strong energy together. I felt
You really
when we first
do,
met
it's really-
you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you.
It's cool. I like it.
It's a team.
Yeah, cool beans.
That's awesome.
So, Xiomara,
Chella Ruth.
give our viewers how they can reach you to get more information about your baking.
They can reach me by Facebook or Instagram, or directly. My phone number is 516-395-1355.
Okay. And what's your Facebook?
That's your direct number? I can hear it now. I want some sugar, girl. One with the turkey leg on it.
I think this is awesome.
No, it
Thanksgiving.
really is awesome.
What's your Facebook? Spell your Facebook name.
Xiomara, Xiomara, Hammond, Hammond.
Oh, I thought it was Xiomara Creations.
Because on Facebook I don't have
So if they put your full name, your page will come up?
Uh-huh,
Okay,
because on
great.
Facebook you have to be a business, or
Okay.
Right.
so I'm not a business, so I put my name, but then in there you can see that I'm Xiomara's Cake Creations.
What do your cakes run? Give me a range of how much they cost. The fancy ones that you showed me.
All depends how many tiers it's going to be and how many guests you're going to have. So it varies.
So for 20 people, 2 tiers.
20 people, then it's going
it's
to be
one
like
tier.
it's going to be very little.
Oh.
Like the tiers are going to be like this.
See,
Very
it's always
small.
best not to have enough.
But
You want them
usually,
fighting over it.
usually it range a starting price is $150.
Wow. Okay. So she makes all this good sweet stuff. How come you haven't gained weight? You don't eat it?
No,
No, he
I
does
do.
eat it, but
I actually do. I try not to eat too much, but I do eat.
He knows about nutrition, too. He knows.
And I'm busy. I mean, I'm usually working 12, 14 hours a day.
Wow. Well, listen, thank you both for being with us. I know the Body Mechanic will remember you forever.
What? What? You know what? Let me tell you. It's very strange. It's serendipitous because my neck really got bad the last few days, and I couldn't move. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's going to be chiropractor on the show. I'm like, God loves me. Holy mackerel. You have no idea. I was so excited coming here.
He forgot you were coming here
yeah,
today.
That I was
yeah.
coming. Well,
Right,
maybe we
so-
can go get some goat or lamb after, and then we can have some more fun.
I remember because when we met, we were like talking for a little while. Because I like talking about health. I like talking about people feeling good. Like that story you gave about that guy.
That was
that's
sweet.
worth
That's
Yeah.
a
that's
really
worth
cool
millions of
story.
dollars. Because
That
like you can't
is.
put a price tag on that because that's what it's all about.
Xiomara, thank you again for being with us on Body
Absolutely.
Shop
Thank you for
TV.
your invitation.
And thank you for this. This is awesome.
This really is
Enjoy it.
awesome.
I don't want to give it away. I don't want to eat it. I want to save it for Thanksgiving.
You know what? That's making food with love, and that's what it's
That's
about.
right. That's right. And healthy.
Yes. Healthier.
Body
You
Mechanic.
saw, I got that mechanism all wired in. So
Body Mechanic, don't forget our Touch Sensorium is this Monday at the awesome Circle of Love, which is located at 20 Wreath Circle in Copiague.
this Monday?
Come get your
Hold on a second.
The third Monday of the month.
This Monday?
The third Monday of the month.
Just in time. I feel
Just
better. It would have been,
Thank
it would
God.
have been torture.
Really?
Oh my God. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay.
Come get your free massage, free veggie juicing, and free wellness modalities. Give us a call. Our number is 202-627-0273. In the meantime, have an awesome week. I want you to love hard and kiss long.
And stay adjusted.